Roman Khare, your evening host and management rating at Adobe. Before we dive in that, we give you a quick glimpse into Adobe. Adobe is a global network of students and young professionals like yourselves, all passionate about inspiring you to make a positive impact. We connect you with the established professionals and offer a platform to learn from their journey. Now, on behalf of Team Maverick and Adobe, we are thrilled to welcome you to this webinar on the basic to sustainability. To make this session even more engaging, we kindly request everyone to switch on their camera. And now, the moment we have been waiting for, our esteemed guest speaker for tonight is Ms. Tayo Abigail Sawenja. Ms. Abigail Sawenja is a virtual assistant from Nairobi, Kenya. Ms. Abigail, it's a true honor to have you with us today, and we all eager to gain valuable insight from your expertise. Let's start by now.
Okay, my name is Abigail Sawenja. I'm a planner by profession with an interest in sustainability, environmental planning. I chose this topic, sustainability, because of the current dynamics that are happening in the world. Myself, I'm from Kenya, and a lot has happened over the past 10 years. There's been drastic drought. There's been other places are experiencing dynamic weather patterns. So I chose this just as to pass across the message, make my audience know about what's happening and what can, so that can live comfortably in this the world. This happens all over the world. We are seeing in the news heat waves in some parts of the world. We are seeing droughts. We are seeing flooding. We are seeing extreme weather patterns and things that are not usual. So this is why I chose the topic sustainability, which is also my interest. I'm really learning a lot about it, and I would like to share the knowledge about it. Now I said my name, and for the sake of the beneficiaries of this webinar, I was told they are students. I used a simple language so that they can be able to understand. I hope I hope I'm audible enough.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, so we can start. So our topic of interest today is sustainability. And Vansh, can you share the screen, or I share from my end?
No, we can share it. Just give us.
Oh, okay, you can share it now. You can start now. So our topic of interest today is sustainability. First, I would like to know the understanding of my author, what you know about sustainability. Have you ever heard that word before? It's a new. I would, in my session, I like it to be interactive. So if you allow for that, the better. So from the audience, anyone, just a random question, anyone to tell me what sustainability is or what sustainability means to them. I can see we are 11 in here. So anyone?
Well, I guess it means that we fulfill our needs.
Pardon?
No, I guess sustainability means fulfilling our needs. Whatever need we have to fulfill it and sustain it for the future.
Thank you. You are correct.
Thank you.
Any other person? Any other opinion? Okay, he's right. He's right. That means satisfying our need, our current need, with consideration for the future. For example, if you have a bunch of bananas and a bunch of bananas and you're like 5 people in your home, that's the only meal you have. or that's a supplemental meal in your home. You won't just consume the whole bunch of bananas today. You will consider tomorrow and maybe the next day to come. So now sustainability, from our definition, sustainability is consuming or satisfying today's need, consider putting in mind the future, putting in mind tomorrow, putting in mind 2 years to come, putting in mind 5 years to come, putting in mind many years to come, even considering our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, and the future generations to come. So according to my findings, sustainability is consuming and allowing it to regenerate. To regenerate is to allow it to come back. Like there are some types of trees, when you cut them off, when you cut off the trees, or when you fell them for something like timber or something like that, they start to sprout again. That is what we consider, or that's what we call regeneration. They start to sprout again, they start to come up again, they start to grow again. So sustainability can be categorized into two. Now that we are humans, we can categorize them into two. The first one is social sustainability. And under social sustainability, this relates to people, how they behave, how we conduct ourselves, how we relate with one another. So a socially sustainable society focuses on creating fairness, inclusivity, that is including, not despising, not having bias towards other people. Then it involves a stable society, which involves everyone, because we cannot be sustainable by ourselves. Someone might be good in maths, another one might be good in English, another one might be good in farming, another one might be good in something else, in engineering. Someone might be, so we need to come together to include all these people together for us to be a sustainable society, for us to be functional, so that we might function well in our affairs, in our dealings. So social sustainability ensures human dignity and respect across various groups of people. As a socially sustainable human being can fit in any society. You can fit in any society without feeling left out or without feeling indiscriminated. So this kind of sustainability allows members of the society to develop and utilize their potential without discriminating. Vansh, you can help me go to the following slides. I think the third slide.
Yes.
So as I understand, I'm dealing with young people, and just the fourth slide, I think. So as he tries to fix that, up to there, does anyone have a question about social sustainability? Are we good?
Well, I would like to ask a question. You
Okay.
were saying about social sustainability, right? What are the problems that we will face if we actually try to maintain the sustainability? There might be many problems related to society and related to personal growth also, right? Sometimes when you try to be sustainable or try to have something in the future. So, did you get my point?
Yeah, I didn't. You can repeat, please.
Yeah. So I was asking, you were saying about social sustainability, right? So
Yes.
I'm asking how to tackle the problems when that we face while maintaining one.
When maintaining social sustainability.
Yeah. How
Yeah,
to
there are many.
face the problems.
Okay, because we all come from different societies, different backgrounds. There's how people are brought up. Okay.
Yeah.
There's how people, there's culture, behavior, codes of conduct. So everyone comes together with their what they know, what they understand, how they pick. So tolerance is the key thing. Tolerance will help us to have a socially sustainable society. We can tolerate one another, have respect for one another. Inclusivity, if you don't understand them, you try to communication, and respect for one another. Is that okay?
Yeah, perfectly answered.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Another question before we move on to economic sustainability. Are we good?
Yes.
Okay. The next slide, Vansh, please. Now the second category of sustainability is the economic sustainability. What do you understand by the word economy? It's a random question. Economy. What comes to your mind when you hear the word economy?
Maintaining money, probably. Paying
Money,
taxes.
taxes.
Yeah, that's it.
What about the other participants? I can see Ronak, Sanket. What about you? What comes to your mind when you hear about economy?
Financial only. Financiability.
Yes, it's about money, it's about taxes, it's about businesses, it's about production, industries, all that. So this type of sustainability involves businesses, finances, production, industries, and all that. So this focuses on doing businesses successfully without causing damage to the resources required. For example, we have books, and books are produced in industries. So there are some things that we need for us to get books, for us to get the papers so that we write on them. Before they become books, they're something else. So they have to be processed into papers. And that process of in that process of being processed, there are some activities that are carried out. For example, we know I don't know if you know this, but they come from trees and other waste papers. So when you cut down a tree, that means you've reduced, I'm getting into a complex bit of sustainability, but I won't delve deeper. So when you cut a tree, you've reduced the surface for carbon absorption, all right? You've reduced the surface for carbon absorption. So when you cut a tree to make papers, that means you've allowed more carbon to go into the air, and you've cut down a tree to produce papers. That tree is processed, treated, taken into the industry to produce paper, and in the process, you use fuel to transport the trees to the industries, you use chemicals to treat the trees so that they make papers, you undergo processes, and in the process of generating the papers in the industry, there's some smoke or waste or chemicals that are being released from the industries. So so this causes pollution. This sends some dirty air in some dirty particles in the air, causing pollution, which may in turn affect our health. At the same time, from that damage, we get papers. So you see, we have to do something to ensure the production of papers is sustainable for both those people who run the industries and for us, the consumers of the papers. So for businesses to run, they need people, they need raw materials, they need capital. And for businesses to be economically, is there anyone who has a question?
No, Abigail, we have a QA question and answer session at the last of the webinar. So everyone can answer question at that time. Now you can say.
Okay, no problem. So businesses in an economically sustainable environment should promote fair trade, and social justice. So running industries for production should consider how they dispose their waste and their byproducts as equally as they're concerned about the continuity of their businesses. Now, to the last category of sustainability for today, we have environmental sustainability. This is so common, and it focuses on ecological and environmental aspects. This kind of sustainability aims at creating a stable balance. Vansh, you can go to the next slide. It aims at creating a stable balance in the environment for long-term ecosystem preservation. So it aims at protecting and conserving natural resources and the planet at large. So to ensure people are aware and help to promote sustainability, the United Nations and other organizations has come up with what we call Sustainable Development Goals. There are 17 in numbers, and they all focus on they all focus on the three categories of sustainability. That is the environmental sustainability, social sustainability, and environmental sustainability. So we'll just go through the goals. The next slide, please.
Next is this by sustainability.
Okay, let's finish with this first. So we may ask ourselves, why sustainability? Why should we promote sustainability? Why should we practice sustainable practices? So one reason why we should promote sustainable practices is for us to have a good quality of life. You see the smoke, the dirt, the noise, dirty water, unclean air, all those makes our life unbearable. It shortens our lifespans. So if we should promote sustainability so that we may be productive. If a person is healthy, they are more productive in whatever they do. They can think, they can create things, they can innovate, they can put into practice. They can do a lot of better things to improve the environment, their lives, and the lives of other people too. So some of the effects of unsustainable practices, one includes extreme weather patterns. There are places which are experiencing severe droughts. And some few years back, let's say some 20, 30, 50 years back, the places were green, the places were inhabitable. But currently, because of unsustainable practices of cutting down trees, of drying rivers up, the weather patterns have changed, and there's no more rain. There's pollution, there's changes in crop production. Some crops do not do well in dry places, so there's hunger, and some crops do not do well in places that are flooded. So there's hunger, there's not enough for people to feed on, not enough for animals, not enough for insects. And we all need these things ecologically for humans to survive, for animals to survive, for insects to survive. So because of all these practices, there's a lot of pressure on whatever is available for us to share. So the next slide. So this gives us more reason why we should practice sustainable practice. So here I had something to jog our mind up. I would like you to think about this. If you have a liter of water and you need to take some of it, you need to clean your face with it, you need to, let's say, to wipe where you want to sit. How can you use it? How can you use it, that liter of water? And if you buy something from the shop for you to eat, like a candy or a sweet, how do you dispose that wrapper? Or maybe you've gone shopping and there's that receipt that you've gotten after buying things. How do you dispose it? Is it a paper wrapper? Is it a nylon wrapper, or just a a paper wrapper. And when you are walking along the streets, a sidewalk, where there are no curb roads, there are trees and grasses planted alongside the walkways. How do you treat that? Do you just go walking on them carelessly, or you walk on the paved paths? Think about the day you clean your clothes. How do you wash your clothes? How much electricity are you consuming, and how are you drying your clothes? Are you sun drying your clothes? Are you drying them using machines? Here, there's a lot of sun outside. How are you drying your clothes? And when you eat, maybe you are in a party or you are in your own house and there's some food left over. How do you dispose that food? Do you just throw it away? Do you keep it to consume it for another day? Do you feed animals with it? How do you treat it? How do you treat your leftover? And when you're traveling, say from one city to another, when you're traveling to school, if it is a 4-seater vehicle, how many of you, I mean, how do you travel? Do you travel only you and the driver, or only yourself, or you fill the vehicle? And if you do that, you can imagine how much fuel you use. And fuel production falls under economic sustainability. So you can think about that. You can think about carpooling. You can think about using larger means of transport like buses, trains, and all that. The next slide, please. So there are some things that we can do so that we promote sustainable practices, and there's some things that we need to avoid for us to live a sustainable life. One, we can allow regeneration. We don't have to use everything at once. Like, you just say, let me use this. Let me use what's available. See, I'm living for today. You just don't care about tomorrow. No, we shouldn't allow that. We should allow for regeneration. For example, you use it today, tomorrow, so that you allow whatever you used to come up again. We should encourage alternative uses with lesser impacts. For example, if you're drying your clothes, if you have the privilege of wash and dry using electricity, the better. But if there's sun, it's even healthier and with lesser negative impacts. We should adopt a circular economy. A circular economy is a type of economy where instead of using and disposing, we can recycle, we can take back to the industries for recycling or for reuse. For example, when you buy some products, you should usually be checking on the wrapper or the papers. Some are written, return me to my shop after use. Some are written, please recycle me. Do follow what is written there. You will reduce blockages of drainages. You will reduce drying of vegetation by reusing these materials. Then we should track our waste generation or our carbon emission. There are some applications nowadays that do track like when you travel, it tells you how much fuel you've consumed and how much fuel you should have saved if you should have used an alternative means of transport, or if you would have walked, or if you would have pulled maybe 4 people instead of 2 people. And then there are things that we should avoid. We should avoid wastages and unnecessary consumption. If you don't need something, do not use it. Do not use it. And if you're using something, do not overuse. Just use it moderately, in moderation. The next slide, please. Now, every individual has a duty and a responsibility of shaping our environment. As I said initially, under social sustainability, everybody has a capability, with something they're best in, something they're good at. So we should encourage that. So if someone is good in agriculture, we should encourage them. Good in informatics, we should motivate them. We should encourage them to come together so that we shape our surrounding. Human behavior and needs and consumption rates affect sustainability. So we can adapt, or we can change how we utilize whatever is at our disposal so that in future we may never lack, or our coming generations may never lack. The next slide, please. So currently, globally, there have been efforts to promote sustainability, and world organizations have made steps to encourage these sustainable practices. One of the major and key events is about the Sustainable Development Goals. There are 17 in numbers, and all of them cover social, economic, and environmental bits. So the UN adopted most of them and put them as policies and laws among nations. So nations, for example, in Kenya, we have policies and regulations guarding the environment, the social aspect, and the economic aspect. All these come together to promote sustainability, how we should conduct ourselves, how we should relate with the government in form of, if we are running industries, if we are doing businesses, how we should conduct ourselves. So the 17 goals, I just listed them because if we go into, I think if we will have future webinars on this, I will continue, but I just listed them in the next slide. Yes, I just listed them according to their priorities. So one of the sustainable development goals that is first is we are looking forward to have a no poverty society. It's an uphill task, but we'll try. Each and every person's code of conduct or behavior will lead us into achieving this or not achieving this. So how you conduct yourself with the little at your disposal is very important. Number 2 is zero hunger. There's good health and well-being, quality education for all children who are supposed to be in school, gender equality, clean water and sanitation. We have affordable clean energy that is for cooking, for lighting, for traveling. We have decent work and economic growth. That is about fairness and decency. We have industry, innovation, and infrastructure. This falls under economic sustainability. Reduced inequalities, that is reduced inequalities among people living in urban and rural places, those people living in towns, those people living in rural areas. There should be some form of equality, because as it is now, there's so much inequality between those who are living in the rural and those who are living in the urban. Then we should, the other goal is to have a sustainable city and communities. Another goal is to have responsible production and consumption, where we take care of them, we consider the future. Then we have climate action, where we have to reduce some activities for us to have a sustainable climate, to reduce climate impact, negative climate impacts. Then we also have life below water, that is about the aquatic life in water, that is fish, animals in water, plants in water, and life on land, that is about us, the animals on land. Then we have peace, justice, and strong institution. We won't delve deeper into this because it covers most of what, it covers politics. Then we have partnership for goals, that is engaging other people so that we achieve the goals together. So from these goals and initiatives, nations have put in place laws and policies so that they help them achieve some, if not all, of these goals. So you as an individual, you can be part of promoting a sustainable society by working on some of these goals. You can see what you can do from the brain teaser. Whatever you will do may help us or may help the nations achieve some of the sustainable development goals. So we have you may ask, why sustainable goals? What do we gain by being sustainable, by practicing sustainability? In the previous slide, I highlighted a few, but I'm going to add on. We will have increased productivity. There will be equity in resource sharing and use. Then there'll be job creation and opportunities where people will innovate new ideas and sustainable designs. Then our well-being. We will be able to reduce stress-related diseases that come from pollution, dirty air, dirty water, lack of food or hunger. We will be able to reduce all that. So I think that's the end of my presentation. And thank you all for listening to me. If anyone has a question about the presentation or an insight of something that you read from somewhere about sustainability, you are welcome to share. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you, Ms. Abigail. I request the participant to submit their doubt and question in the chat box, and Ms. Abigail will answer them accordingly.
Yes, Abigail. Uh, how can education and awareness contribute to sustainability? Can you tell?
How can education contribute to
And
sustainability?
education and awareness contribute to sustainability.
Thank you. There are some people who've never heard about sustainability. They just live. But if you talk to them, that is creating awareness, letting them know, if you do this, this will happen. If you cut more trees, if you don't plant grass, this will happen. They will be able to know, they'll be able to understand my action may lead into this. For example, if you're traveling from one city to another and there's another person going the same direction as you, why don't you give them a ride and they pay you? So you've helped, you've filled your car of 4 people instead of going the 2 of you or 1 of you. So by telling them that, by talking to them, by educating them, making it known to them, they become aware of their actions. And if they become aware of their actions, they begin to rectify, they begin to work on them, they begin to improve. That means you're one step towards sustainability. Have I answered your question?
Yes, thank you. I have one more doubt.
Okay.
How can biodiversity lead to sustainability?
Okay, I have a question.
Aman, first I have asked, please wait.
Pardon?
I have asked how can biodiversity lead to sustainability?
There's this cycle, the ecological cycle, or where we get some water from the atmosphere. It takes care of the plants. It takes care of the plants, and from the plants we get our food, and from that food we continue to live. And as we continue to live, the same plants or the same crops release water to the atmosphere. So the cycle continues. So by biodiversity, the plants also purifies the air. So it's a circular. It's a circular thing. So we benefit from them by getting clean air, food, and then they also benefit from us, from our CO2, from our carbon. Whatever we release, they feed on it. And the animals, we depend on them in so many ways. They
Okay, thank you. I got my.
Okay, my question is that what inspired you to work in the field of sustainability, and what motivated you to continue your work?
Abigail, are you there?
Should I have to write on the chat?
She is here.
Did I answer your question?
Yes, Abigail, I got my answer.
Okay. Any other
Abigail,
question?
Aman, I think you were asking one question now. You can ask.
Sure. So, Abigail, I have a question. How can technology and innovation promote sustainability?
First of all, technology eases it eases the efforts we use in production. For example, there's this hype, in quotes, hype about electric transport. And you realize in electric transport, we will use the vessel and the fuel, which is electricity, compared to the diesel and the oil and the fossil fuel that has been used since time immemorial. So for us to get the fossil fuels, there was a lot of excavation, a lot of mining, a lot of drilling. That affected the land. It affected the core of the earth where the mineral was being extracted. So technology improvements, it helps us to consume less.
Very well, thank you.
Abigail, we have one question in the chat box.
Okay, let me see. Someone is asking, what inspired you to work in the field of sustainability and what motivates you to continue your work? On this, I'll be a bit personal if you allow me. I understand I'm talking with people from a different continent, but now I'll relate my answer to wherever I am. I'm in Kenya currently. And if you do follow the news, within the last 5 years, there's a region in Kenya called Turkana. There was a lot of drought, and those people are pastoralists. They keep animal. The northern part of Kenya. So there was a lot of drought, and a lot of the animals died. So most of the children are malnourished. Many people died because of hunger. The same place, 2 months ago, there was a lot of rain in Kenya and flooding happened. Then people died. So equally, you can see whatever is happening, be it rain, be it sunshine, it's bringing havoc. So I'm interested because as I look at how things are panning out, I get interested in this field of sustainability. The second reason why I'm in sustainability, I did planning, physical planning. This is about development, construction, and all that. So there's a lot of construction going on around the world, and people are adopting to new measures, new ways of building, new technology. So it makes me to continually improve my knowledge in the field of sustainability. Currently, there are new technologies that are used to build, not like the previous technologies where you have to mix cement, metal, steel, and all that. No, people are adapting into new ways of technology. Like instead of using cement, brick, and mortar, there's a new method, I think, from one of the European countries, Germany. They're using waste to create walls, and the walls just function the same as the brick and mortar wall. So this inspires me to continue learning about the sustainability. That motivates me. That inspires me.
Thank you, ma'am, for your answer. And I'm happy to know about this.
Anyone else who wants to ask any question, or we can wind up?
Okay, I have a question. What is the role of government in promoting sustainability?
The first major role is policies. If if they adopt the UN 17 SDGs is a Sustainable Development Goals, and break them into relatable goals according to their situations, that will help people to be aware of what is happening and what's supposed to be done. Number two, if they set the goals, the policies, and the laws into place, they have to fund. And by funding, they have to provide the resources. By resources, I mean funds, that is money, and human capital. They must, or they should be able to train people to come and help implement these projects. They have to provide finances. They have not entirely to, they can partner with other people who are interested. That is public-private partnerships, so that they implement some of these goals. Have I answered your question?
Yeah, well, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. As we near the closing ceremony, and before we depart, we would like to thank Ms. Abigael and Dinesh Agarwal sir and Sriman Sarma ma'am and the principal officer and responsible member for making this webinar a success. Adore is a global network of students and young professionals like to see all passionate about inspiring you to make a positive impact, and we connect you with established professionals and offer a platform to earn from their journey. So if anyone interested can visit the website. We have shared a link in the chat box, and we request you give your valuable feedback. Once again, thank you everyone for joining. The webinar is now completed and you may now leave the meeting. And thank you, Ms. Abigail.
Thank you for having me, and I wish you all a sustainable day.
Thank you.